Imagine living in a world where you could cross most borders with little more than your name. For most of human history, that's exactly how travel worked. There were few immigration officers, no airport security lines, and often no passport at all. In ancient Egypt, travelers sometimes carried letters from rulers guaranteeing safe passage. In Han China and Tudor England, foreigners needed travel permits. And during the 1800s, poorer migrants heading to the United States often had to present health certificates. But compared to today, international travel was remarkably free. Then came World War I. When war erupted in 1914, neighboring countries suddenly became enemies. Governments feared spies slipping across borders and soldiers deserting the battlefield. So European nations introduced checkpoints where officials verified travelers' identities and nationalities. These early passports looked nothing like today's versions. Every country had its own format, its own rules, and its own way of recording information. When the war ended, many assumed passport controls would disappear. They didn't. In 1920, the newly formed League of Nations debated getting rid of passports altogether, but concerns over national security, disease outbreaks, and the massive movement of refugees convinced leaders to keep the system for the time being. Instead, they tried to make passports more consistent, written in the issuing country's language as well as French. But every nation still decided who could enter, how long visitors could stay, and whether they could work, study, or simply travel. In other words, visas became just as important as passports. By 1926, any serious effort to abolish passports had faded away, cementing the border system we still use today. But passports quickly became more than simple travel documents. They became instruments of power. Colonial empires used them to separate people based on where they were born. During the 1920s, someone born in Britain could receive a British passport, while someone born in India, despite also being a British subject, received a different British Indian passport. Governments also discovered they could control their own citizens by refusing to issue passports or taking them away altogether. During the Cold War, for example, the United States revoked the passports of several political and civil rights activists, including W.E.B. Du Bois. As air travel exploded in the second half of the 20th century, passport checks moved into airports. At the same time, computers, databases, and digital tracking gave governments an unprecedented ability to monitor who entered and left their borders. Today, not all passports are created equal. A passport's value depends largely on politics and international relationships. Regional agreements, like Europe's Schengen area, allow millions of people to travel across multiple countries without border checks. Meanwhile, citizens of wealthier nations generally enjoy far greater travel freedom than those from poorer countries. The difference is dramatic. As of 2025, someone with a US passport can visit nearly 180 countries without applying for a visa in advance. A Pakistani passport holder can access fewer than 40. Even getting a visa isn't an equal process. In 2024, applicants from Algeria faced much higher US visitor visa rejection rates than applicants from Brazil. And for those with enough money, there's another shortcut. More than a dozen countries now offer so-called golden passports, granting citizenship and all the travel benefits that come with it to people willing to make large investments or donations. So, while the world is becoming more connected than ever for some people, it's becoming increasingly restricted for others. Which raises one final question. Should the lines humans draw on a map determine where someone can go, what opportunities they have, and ultimately, how free they are?